Okay, so let me know if you can hear this. This is probably a little bit far away because I'm away from the microphone right now by the P1P. But let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear this. If it is, we're just gonna go without the lavalier. Perfect. All right, good. So now we're good. All right, we're good. I think we should be fine now. If you guys can hear me, that's fine. That's all that really matters. That's all that matters. Good night. All right. Sorry for the delay. You're right by the camera, my love, and by the microphone, so everybody can hear whatever you would like to say, Mike.
Nothing to say right now.
Of course. Perfect. All right, good. So now we're good. Okay, good. So we're gonna go over that. All right. So I'm gonna move the laptop here so I can see you guys as well. Unless you want to monitor the chat for me, my love. I think not. All right, so we're gonna move this over. 1 second. So I think we're good here. Move the laptop here so I can see you guys as well. Unless you want to monitor the chat for me, my love. I think not. All right, so we're gonna move this over. 1 second. Oh, I'm reverbing like that. Alright, there we go. I'm going to turn on my phone and mute it so I can see the chat so I can answer you guys because I can't really see the laptop from here. Alright. Alright, so we have a box full of a lot of junk here. A lot of stuff. So we're going to actually start by taking off the old case that I put on the P1P a long time ago, hence why it's called Purple Girl. It's got the perfect purple frame. This is all, some of it's silk PLA and some of it's PET G. So we're not keeping it. I don't feel like ripping it apart, so could just yank it off because I can't reuse it. But I think instead we're actually going to unscrew the parts. I did do this kind of funky when I originally set it up. So as with some of the other 3D printers, it's going to have different size bolts and screws throughout it. So we're just going to get the right. Yeah, this thing will come off. There we go. If we can get. You know what? I'm getting a regular screwdriver. I give up on that. Alright. So I have both metric and regular screws here in Imperial. And we're going to take off this janky rig that I put together. It's been on for about 8 months. You know what? That's too big of a screwdriver. Back with it. Now, let's pull out the electric. Put out the electric. And just take this whole thing apart. Because we're going to put on new side panels on the front, back, side, the whole thing. And I don't really care about these screws because the kit comes with its own screws. And these are just screws I had laying around, so I just kind of threw it all together just to put a case on it. Sometimes I put it in an enclosure. Not the greatest for the main board on this machine, especially since it should be actively cooled with the fan that we're going to put on here that you'll see in a minute. Yeah, like I said, rinky dinkly put together. So these parts are not really on very strong. They're just put in place months ago. Some of these, I got another screw over here. Let's see. Alright, what is holding this one on? Try some from the inside. Yep. one from the inside. I'll do all the regular screws first, and then go find my metric and remove those. Another one out and stuck to my exhaust fan. That's the aux fan. Alright, so I got part of the panel off. We've got 4 screws in the back. I gotta remove from off of this. Now, if you have your own P1P, you wouldn't have to do this. It would just come without all of the stuff that I put on here months ago. But, there we are. Now we're back to the metrics. We're into the metric now. Got the 2.0s in the back. What we're missing. There's one panel off. Yeah, I made these a while ago. I put the thermal tape on here to keep the heat in, and served its purpose. Served its purpose while it was here. I take these feet off of the machine because they like to fall off when you slide it around. Regular screw here. Yeah, I got too big. Here's my other one. There we go. Two in here. Just have a old broken piece. Oh, that's Terry. That's Terry in the background. Sorry. She's playing with the cats. There's Herschel and Storm on the other side of the room, harassing her while we're doing this. These should be the last ones. Now, I probably want to hold on to these because I like these screws. These are little small baby ones the bamboo came with. This enclosure was available on the Bamboo website. I forget what it's called. It's not the Vision enclosure. That was the most popular one. But this is just I believe it's called the P1P or something like that. But yeah, this is, I haven't seen her look like this in a long time. This is a normal P1P minus the exhaust fan. It doesn't come with the exhaust fan. You'd have to purchase it. Actually, I believe all the new ones do. But when these were first came out, they did not have the exhaust fan. They did not come with the LED bar, so they had to be installed. Now, this one actually did come with the equipment to put it on there. When I bought this one new, it came as a secondary packet. I also had, Red Girl had the same situation where you did have to purchase it, so I wasn't going to do it, but then out of nowhere they started selling them for like 20 bucks for the whole kit, so I just went ahead and bought the kit. I think they still do. Yeah, this is, she's a little dirty, a little dusty, so we'll wipe her down real quick before I actually put anything together. It doesn't make sense to put the whole thing together with all that dust on there. So I'm going to wipe down the whole thing since I haven't really been keeping up because she's been covered the whole time. So since it's going to get covered up, doesn't make sense to cover up all the dust with the new plates.
touchscreen's gonna stay there, right?
Well, the touchscreen we gotta. Oh shoot, you're right. We do have to take the touchscreen, the Panda Touch off, because that's gonna have to be put back on after we change out the faceplate. Now we've already done this on Red Girl already, so she's been finished. So this isn't a new process to me. It's just a little tedious putting all the new pieces on, but it's not as hard as everybody thinks it is. It's quite an easy update. If you haven't bought a P1P or a P1S yet, I highly recommend the P1S over the P1P, obviously, so you don't have to go through this process. All the parts alone just to replace this, they do sell the upgrade kit. Now, the upgrade kit's going to run you about $194. I couldn't find one when I ordered, so my dumb behind went ahead and ordered every single part that goes on this that needs to be on there that I don't already have. I already have a cable chain printed for this, so I didn't buy the cable chain. Already have the aux fan, so I didn't need to have the aux fan. Already have the LED lights. Already have the PEI beds. So those are things I kind of skipped. Now, one thing that did come with this kit compared to the last one, or that they took off the kit, sorry, was what's called this MCU heatsink. Now, I was kind of confused also when I changed the red one out. The MCU heatsink on the machine is bigger than the replacement one that they have for the P1S. So it didn't quite make sense. The P1P's heatsink was bigger than the P1S's. This one looks slightly bigger than the other one, but we'll see when we get in there because I'm still going to change it out anyway, just to make sure. But that's going to be in the back of the machine when we get there. So first off, we're going to go ahead, like the wife said, we're going to have to remove the Panda Touch. Just as easy it was to put it on. All it is a USB plug that plugs into the back. You pull the USB plug out. Bam, there it is. That's it. You just pull the plug out, pull your cable wire through, back through the hole. Oh shoot, sorry, gotta go the other way with it. So yeah, the Panda Touch, we can replace that. Just have to unscrew the top. So I'm just unscrewing the two screw mounts that hold it in place here, so that I can take off the actual holder bracket. So there we go. I need that screw. Went flying. So there's the faceplate for the Panda Touch. That's all it is a faceplate and a USB cord that plugs everything in, and I just reroute that wire back through the top of the hole in the P1P and take the cable out. So now I've taken apart the Panda Touch, so I can put it back on whenever I'm ready to. Alright, so this is the pain in the butt, is trying to get these face plates on and off. They do have to slide. There we go, I think I got it. Oh, we did, yay! Last time it was a pain in the butt. But yeah, the faceplate, you're just gonna unplug it. Come on. I just gotta get it. Gotta get my hand, there it is. Alright, so just unplug the actual faceplate. That's gonna be your little faceplate there. And this is a mount that I printed for the Panda Touch. So we'll put that back on in a second, but yeah, as you see, we just have the cable wire hanging here and this top mount. We're going to remove this off. There's, I believe, 2 or 3 screws. 2 screws, sorry. It's 2 screws in this that hold on the actual face plate. So when we're changing this out, the reason why you want to is when you put in the actual front door here, the front door rests right about here, and you have an empty space. So the new face plate's going to actually go on and cover that up. So let's get this top piece off. Oh, missing some chat. Sorry. I'd like to recommend I would recommend a P1S over the X1 Carbon unless you really need an X1 Carbon. I myself would never buy an X1 Carbon for anything less than $1,000 with the P1S out there. With the P1S, you do get a 720 frame camera, or 720p camera on the P1Ps versus the 1080p on the X1Cs. The X1C does have a slightly faster processor. That LiDAR, some people say it works, some people say it doesn't. I don't know because I don't actually have one. But to me, For instance, my K1, that LiDAR doesn't work worth anything. I don't know what it's for. It doesn't do anything for me. But it's there. Well, I know I'm missing another screw. I think there's one on the inside, isn't it? Yeah, there's one on the inside. No, on the inside, baby. Not there. Oh, screwed in. Could have swore there was one on the inside that holds this in. Yep, there it is. I thought it was 3 screws. I took it out before. So yeah, there's 3 screws. We'll put them back in a second. We really don't have to because it'll come with its own screws. But you're just going to slide out the faceplate like so. And make sure when you're removing it, you're going to have your Wi-Fi antenna on here. You want to pull this off. Make sure that it doesn't rip off when you're taking it off. Otherwise, you're going to get a new one. Now on this one, it's positioned here. On my older one, it was positioned behind the actual frame back here. So they have made some adjustments. This is a newer P1P than the original that I have, the Red Girl. But yeah, this is going to be your faceplate here that we're going to be switching out. So as you see, this one just still says the P1P on it. And that's the first thing we can change out. So in our pile of boxes, sorry, you're going to have a front cover. So if you get the kit, it'll come in a giant box full of stuff. Hey, Just Push Princeton, see you there. Good to see you again. Alright, so we're pulling out the P1S front cover. We'll be tossing boxes. The wife's going to yell at me in a minute here. So we're tossing boxes over there. And on the new one, you'll actually see a little gap here for where you can put the Wi-Fi antenna. So, do I have enough glue still left on this thing? Not quite.
Don't you want to keep your boxes?
No, not really. Those boxes are all trash enough. Well, it sticks. Alright, it's going to stick, so I'm good. I'm not going to have to redo it. So, I'm going to I put the Wi-Fi antenna back up against the board there. And then I'm going to slide through my cable wire right through the little slit. Pull it through. There we go. And this should mount right into the same position that the last one went on to. Come on, get in there. You can be my friend.
No, it can't be your friend. Maybe you work for it.
Get in there. There we go. Okay. So now we have that in there. We're all set. So we have our cable wire out here, just hanging out. So we're going to screw in all of our parts back on. And again, it comes with the screws you would need anyway. So if you lost your other ones while I'm doing it, don't lose these. Alright, so we're going to screw this back in. Come on. That doesn't like that gap. Right in the spot. There we go. And the other one. And of course, this cheap screwdriver and these wrenches go everywhere. Alright, so as you can see the difference in between the two of them here. This one being a little bit smaller. That takes care of that gap that's been missing with this off. Alright, so next up. Oh shoot, that's right. Next up we're going to have to put in our sides. So our side panels are going to have to go on next. Get our big box of nonsense over here. So this box, I always forget what these are. This is our rear metal panel, so we'll put this on next. After that, after our sides. So you're gonna have a left side and a right side. That's a glass door.
Don't make that mistake.
That's a glass door. Don't be an Uncle Jesse. There we go. There's the side panel. There we go. Okay, so this one is going to be my left side panel. So on this, or sorry, this side of the machine that I'm closest to. So we're going to open that up and put that on.
You have to secure the hinges, right?
Yeah, they got to put that on the app. And a sec here. We'll put on the actual front door and everything. But they come well packaged in these bamboo boxes. So they're very well covered. Like I said, they all come with the actual screws. Come with plenty of screws to get the job done. You're also going to have your tape for your aux fan, so you can take your aux fan back up against the side. And I believe this is the newer one that doesn't have the, okay. Yeah, so this is the newer one. So there's an older one and a newer one. If you look on the bottom of the pad, or the bottom of these here, these tabs are for the older style. So I have a newer style printer and an older style. So on the older one, these clipped into a little gap. On this machine, there is no gap. So what you're supposed to do is just break them off. That's all you do, because there's no gap for them on the new machine. Then you just slide the panel on, literally slide the panel on.
Voila.
You're going to have a screw here, and you're going to have a screw on the inside, and then a couple screws on your other side here behind the aux fan as well. I'm going to cheap out because I did on the other one. Not worried about screwing in all that other stuff. I can still screw in my bottom plates and everything else. I am not going to worry too much about screwing in. Come on, get in there. Behind the auxiliary fan, simply because I don't really care. If you want to do it, sure, but normally all you can do is just stick a piece of tape, which is what you're originally supposed to do. You're supposed to put screws and tape. I just put a stick of the double-sided tape right here, and then when I push it on, I push the aux fan back against it, and it sticks. It's just to keep this fan from going anywhere. It's already in there. I already have it up top and on the bottom, so this is just to keep it from wiggling. And again, you've got these little tabs here that are going to go underneath the front mount, or the front faceplate, in order for it to slide on like so. So we're going to go ahead and screw this one down in first. Oh, come on. There. Alright, so everything's lined up. And we're going to put in all of our screws all the way around. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not going to do that one. There's 6, 7 there. Then 8 and 9 up top. But we're going to go ahead and knock those out. You're going to want to use the shorter screws. So you got short screws and long screws. Those short screws you're going to want to use for the top. You got a top mount up here. So we're going to go ahead and get the top screwed in first with the shorter screws, so they should go flush to the base. This is where your actual screen, or I'm sorry, not screen, your glass panel will go on top of. Come on, get in there. Are the right ones? Oh, of course not, because I'm using the big ones, just like I said. I'm the dummy. I just said use the small ones. So these are the baby ones. These are the smaller ones. Follow my own directions. Maybe I'll listen to myself. There we go.
I got 2 screws here. Do you need these?
No, those are from the last upgrade. We're good there. So these are the baby screws, and they fit in these little gaps up top, and they actually go flush because your glass panel goes right on top. There's never too many screws, Bogdan. Never. There's no need for the thermal tape. That was just me being excess on the last one. Simply because it was just overkill. Said, hey, I can keep the heat in better
Extra.
with just the thermal tape. That was just a me thing. You do not have to do that. Let's see. And we're gonna throw this one in here. Like so. So I'm gonna come back and do this, the size. Finish these up. Actually, you know what? Let's do it now. So on the inside here, you got these 2 long screws that have to go in. Oh, come on, longer screws. So switch this over. appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see. Where am I at here? Yep, right in here into the screw. And these are your longer screws, not the short ones. Not the super long ones in the other pack. Just the super long ones are really for the fan and the housing. These shorter ones. Now I could have put the door mount on now, but I had no issue putting it on last time. Doing it after I put on the plates of the side panels. There we go. So I've got, and we got 3 more in the back. I'm gonna move this Panda Touch because the last thing I want to do is drop it on the floor. Probably, the super glue probably not, because the heat would probably make it melt away. Well, not melt away, but lose the ability to hold it firm. Alright, let's turn this a little bit. So then I've got my 1, 2, 3, and 4 other smaller screws that go on the back side. And I still have a pile of screws here as well. Just go right in. You don't have to worry about the back plate yet, about where you're mounting this, because the back plate's going to go on separate, and there it just goes in this gap area here. We'll get that one after we put on the other side plate. And you know what I forgot to do? Stick the tape. And you know what? I don't care. I'm rocking without the tape. The Red Girl has no tape on her at all. She's done it since the beginning of time with that Hawks fan. So it's supposed to keep it secured. Yes, you should do it. No, I didn't do it. So I'm not going back and taking this panel off now and retaping it. It's insecure enough for me. But you should. You should definitely do what you're supposed to do. Stop it. Don't laugh at me, wife. Alright. So, got the left side on. Left side panel is on. And we're going to move over to the right side. The same exact process. I'm going to open the other one up, other box. Here we are. I have a mess to clean up. Babe, you want to clean up this mess for me? You said that so quickly. You don't want to help me, my love? Alright, and same thing as you see. This one does not have the grooves on the bottom. So again, they're just these little tabs. They just clip off. That's it. Again, it's supposed to fit either style. So now we're going to slide the side panel on. Again, with that little edge going underneath the front face plate. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? On the inside here, I gotta do the top one, but we'll come back and finish all the interior screws. I'm just gonna get the exterior screws done first, and then we'll come back for the internal screws. And I still got a pile of screws, as always. So we're gonna use, again, the small baby screws go on that top, because that's where your glass rests. Did I lose my... Every time. This is why I'm horrible at tools. Because I always lose my bit right in front of my face. Of course it is. There it is. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get these in. Small baby screws on the top. You know what? I didn't even turn on the music. I'm sitting here in complete silence. This is not good. Hold on one moment. Let me fix that.
For your health.
No, babe. That doesn't mean you sing. It means we're going to play the music.
I said silence is good for your health.
Silence is not good for my health. It's good for our health. There we go. There, that way you guys don't just listen to me all day.
I'm gonna put people to sleep.
This is not sleepy music. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. Alright, let's see.
Good night, guys.
Nobody's going to sleep. Stop trying to say everybody's going to sleep. You put them to sleep. I'm not talking. Take them out.
I don't need to talk. They just have to look at me.
Well, nobody can see you anyway. You're in the background. Don't play with the plus.
I'm trying to find something.
You shouldn't. You can't find something to print because all that's not what you would print. Alright. And down the backside. Of course, my electric screwdriver is not very electric today, is it? Maybe it's the light that I left on. Oh, that'll help. What are you printing?
A cylinder.
You're just randomly printing files off
Yeah,
of
that's
the...
why you worried about it.
Why am I worried about you breaking the plus?
Breaking it.
What are you doing with the plus? You're just printing some random file off the plus. You didn't even slice it. Okay. I think Terry's reprinting the mount for this camera that I printed yesterday.
It's a cylinder.
Yeah, it's the cylinder that goes under the cameras to hold up on the tripod.
So guess what? If you lose it, then you have extra.
Good job, man. Way to think of us together. That's what I wanted. An extra piece of plastic that we don't have enough rolling around the house. Alright, there we go. We got the sides on. Like I said, I'll come back in and screw all the internal parts on in a minute. But next we're going to do the back panel. All those excess screws. Alright. So here comes the big part of the job. These side panels are easy. That's the simple part. It's changing out what's behind this nice back panel that's going to be the fun part. And not so much fun as finicky. Because we're going to open it back right now and show you the difference. Back rear metal plate. Yeah, Ben, I know it's late for you. Very late. What time is it? Like 4? I think it's 3 or 4 where you're at. Oh, we can't really tell. But yeah, again, more screws. They give you tons of screws and extra if you don't even need all of them. But, so the big difference between the two plates is one obviously covers the entire back so that you can keep it enclosed. So you can see the difference here. This one's the P1S back, this one's the P1P back. It's going to have the vent here for the additional aux, or the, what do they call it? Chamber temperature regulation fan uses this vent screen here. Whereas the old one did not have it on there. This will also cover up the top part to keep this fully enclosed. So let's go ahead and take this metal one, the old one off. Yeah, you're printing a picture here, right? Babe, I think we put Ben to sleep. You said he has to go to bed. And then you said he was supposed to go to sleep. This is peaceful, calm music. Is this music good, everybody?
No.
Let me know if this is good. If not, I can switch to a different one.
Old man working on a TV show that's putting stuff together.
There, your music selection's over. You happy now? Minor.
the garage show.
Garage show.
He died. Focus forward in the garage. Something's garage.
The garage show?
Yeah, he fixed cars.
Eric, what the hell are you talking about?
Nothing. He died though.
The guy who works on cars that died, that had a garage show. No idea who that is. Maybe you can give me like a what garage show?
He was an old guy. Something garage. Bill's garage or Bob's garage or something like that.
It was here for Baltimore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maryland.
Oh, it's in Maryland. Bob's garage. Oh. I know what you're talking about now. Goss's garage.
Yeah.
The motor trend.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bob.
Yeah, so you need to,
This is different. This is a different track, so.
elevator music.
Bam! And that's what you're really looking for. The backside of the P1P. Well, it's soon to be P1S. But yeah, we're now open the backside of this baby. So get rid of the old plate, put in a new one. But that's going to be in a second because we have a lot to do in the back of this machine to get this to be a P1S. Alright, so first off, we're going to have to put the auxiliary fan right in here. We're also going to have to change out this heat sink. We're going to have to put a fan right over here on the side. I think that's the only thing here. Heat sink. I'm sorry. Temperature regulation fan. Control board fan. New MCU heat sink. And I believe that's it for the inside. But yeah, let's put the temperature control fan on first, which is going to be your big boy one right here. Yeah, look at it. Got stuff on our third rail. While we're in here, look, it's the coveted third rail of the bamboo that no one ever cleans. Do I clean it?
Yes.
I don't think I want to clean it.
I think you should.
Alright, I'll clean it down. Dang it. Let's see.
Still getting up your time.
Yeah, you're pretty patchy over there, boy. Alright, so we get some alcohol and my scrubby brushy. Just to make you happy, my love.
Yeah, I don't hear music.
Just to make you happy, I will scrub the rods. What I do with my alcohol. Not the drinking kind. What did it? Oh, I just looked into that. Yeah. Alright, so the lead screw, this third lead screw, is coveted for being never cleaned, never touched by most bamboo owners. So I guess I'm going to not be part of that crowd, and we're going to wipe this all the way down. And get it semi-clean. I'm not doing a full clean, just a semi-wipe off the gunk.
It's only supposed to be 10 minutes, we'll see.
Yeah, that trim will only take 10 minutes to put it against to it. Alright, so now I got that off of there, I can lube up my rail. Got some bamboo. Good old bamboo, we're gonna brush the teeth. Take my knife there, baby. Oh, this is a new one. Don't have an open one? Don't have an open one. Oh well, already wasting enough time. We're not doing all that. Just cut it. Cut it. Okay. A newer one now. We're gonna brush the teeth. Put a little bit of oil on there. Go right on the rail. Lube it up. It's only been a couple months since I'm lying. I've never cleaned this rail. I don't think anybody ever cleaned this rail because it's so far back here. But now it's been cleaned, it's been lubricated. I'm good. I think we're good. Not too worried about it now. got a mounting point here and a mounting point here for your actual fan. Again, tons more screws. Bamboo does not skimp on the screws. So this is going to be the new aux fan. It's a snow fan is what it's called. A snow fan. Yeah, allegedly it's supposed to be cold. I have one in the other machine as well, so I realized what happened.
You're married to
I forgot one important part about this whole thing.
Can't be a moron.
One of the biggest, dumbest things you could do. I'm still gonna finish this install, and we're just gonna leave the aux fan out, or the chamber fan off while I finish this. And I'm going to hit the print button on the fan housing that this thing is supposed to have, that I was supposed to print before I did. That's why I thought I was missing a part. Yeah, there's an actual part that you print for this. It's a fan housing. It's on the other one. I'll show you here in a minute, because we still have to change out the heater coil on that one. Dang it! Okay, that's fine. So we'll still do the whole install with everything except for the aux fan, and then we'll come back to it. But yeah, so let's get to the MCU heatsink and the main board fan. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Let me do this real quick.
Turn it on here.
Let me hit the send button real quick on this print. I doubt it'll be finished before, I think it's a 3-hour print. That's what it looks like right there. That's what it looked before. That's the piece I'm trying to put into the actual machine. But it would say, I forgot to print. So, Bamboo A1 tool. And it's just held on with 2 screws for the MCU heatsink. I'm going to show you the difference between the 2 of these. And I couldn't figure it out myself. But there it is with the heat paste.
What?
And there we go. That is the original one. And I'm assuming maybe the newer machines all have the better MCU on it. But this is the new MCU heatsink right here. With the thermal paste. If you notice, it's smaller. It's quite a bit smaller. And I'm assuming it's just to be able to get the fan over top. But again, why would you make it smaller? That's my question. And we're also going to put in wrong box. Tons of boxes. That's the control board fan. So this is going to be our control board fan that's going to go right over top of the heatsink when we install it. But here's our heatsink, here's our control board fan with the piece of tape that we're going to stick on the side, and then it just sticks aside, mounts up that way. There goes your control board fan. Here are these boxes. Got a little pile of stuff here in my way. Hold on to the thermal paste, hold on to some silicone, just tons of screws flying everywhere. Alright. So we have the MCU off. We're going to put the new one on so that we can put the control board fan. And I think that probably is the difference. Yep. That's going to be the difference in the size. As you can see. So in order to fit that in there, they had to make it a little bit smaller. That's a big heatsink, so. But it is what it is. At least you have a fan blowing on the heatsink now. So we're going to go ahead and lube it. We don't call it lube so much as thermal paste it. This is going to look weird. It's going to have some weird supports and stuff on it. bit of love on the thermal paste. Back of MCU heatsink. I'm trying to cheat. It didn't work. The heck with it. We're fixing it. You gotta take off the actual purge bucket, or poop chute as they say, in order to get full access to this. I was trying not to do it. It's a pain in the butt, but we're gonna have to do it because it doesn't want me to go in. So in order to do that, you have to unscrew the purge bucket from the top. I was trying to cheat, I'll be honest. You do have to unscrew the purge bucket. To put this thing back in is a pain because you gotta line the holes up.
Cheaters always get caught.
I had a heck of a time doing it last time. That's why I was trying not to do it on this one. But I can see why you have to do it. There's no way to get your hand in around that MCU without taking off this purge, or without taking off the poop chute. One weird screw holding that in. The other one just slides up in. This one has two new sections to hold this in place. So, okay. So now that's off, I can get my hand in here to put the new MCU on. Where is that? Here. Now I can put my hand in there. Making a mess. I'm not doing very good organized at this. Alright, so now I can screw this screw right into the hole here. It was originally in, now that I can see it. I'm gonna move you guys over here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, there we go. So now we got a good view. So they should be able to see exactly what's going on the inside here. So here's your MCU. This is your MCU, sorry. This is going to be your heat sink. It's going to go and cool your MCU. And you're going to need to plug in your other fan, right here. Right here, which is fan 1. Fan 1 and fan 2. So this is my plug. There's my plug here for over here. It's not on those. Okay, so we're fine. So this one's going to be for your chamber fan. This one's going to be for your MCU cooling fan. So stick this nice cooling fan. We're going to take off the sticker. We're going to stick it right on the side here. Oh, doesn't fit. Should just stick right to the side, like so. There we go. Fan there now. Fan. And I do have to turn that on in the firmware because it's not activated at this moment. So we have the fan, the MCU cooler on there, and we're still waiting on the other piece, so we'll come back to that. So technically I have everything installed other than the aux fan, or the chamber temperature fan, which once I print the part, it's going to actually go into the housing that holds it in place here. That's what those brackets are for. And then you're going to run this wire up over here. I'm actually going to just install it because we're going to just, well, I'm not going to fully install it, sorry. We're going to just put the wire here. So I got it in place. this one plugs directly into this port here for your fan. So now technically if I had my mounting piece here, that's how you'd be, and you would have your cover. We're not going to close it up right now, but you have your cover here that goes over top once this is in place, and that will be able to have the fan behind the screen there. So we're going to leave that for the time being while I wait for the piece to finish printing. And I'll clean up this mess here. We'll re-screw in these internal parts. So I can put back on the poop chute, because the poopy chute needs to go, and that's why I hate it to go off. Go into the hole here. There's a little gap that it has to fit in. There we go. Poop chute installed. God, it's a pain in the butt. Alright, so I got the poop chute installed, we got the MCU heatsink installed, we got the MCU fan installed. We don't have the chamber temperature control fan regulator installed because we're waiting on the bracket to print. So technically there's not much I can do right now until this is finished. This technically is done with the exception of I have to put this fan into the housing and then screw the fan housing on and then put the back plate on. That's all that's with this one, so this one we'll come back to in a second, because next we're going to change out to hardened steel extruder on the other machine. This one I already did a while back ago, so yeah, it's a little wonky. This one is a P1P with a hardened steel extruder. The other one's a P1S without a hardened steel extruder. So this one, again, we're going to put it to the side for right now while we're waiting on the part to print in the back. We'll come back to this one. Alright. Red Girl. Red Girl is here. Finally. Oh, only took a second with her. But yeah, this is the other P1P that we already switched over to a P1S. This is the one from the video the other day where the thing bent on me. So we're gonna install that new nozzle and switch to a hardened steel extruder. Alright, so let me bring you guys in. So the hardened steel is real fast, believe it or not. Hopefully. I just probably jinxed myself by saying the hardened steel is real simple. I'm 99% sure I just did. Of course I did. Filament cutter. So cut your filament first. Make sure it's cut. Then remove your PTFE tube. Ah, dang it, I forgot. Oh well. I mean, we're going to take it off anyway, so it doesn't matter. So this piece is the first part, just like on the A1. You're going to want to remove your tensioning clip here for the cutter. As always, I jinx myself with it. Yeah, it's easy, and then I can't get my tools in there. So when you do this, this will actually try to come flying out, so you got to be careful. Just like the cutter, just unscrew this little clip. Let it go. See how well this one's doing. This one's nice and sharp. But again, we're in here, might as well change it out anyway. So we're going to change that out anyway. So now I want to actually remove the extruder. The whole extruder is coming off of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the screws from off of the extruder here, on the wrong size. I really am. I have to use all the bamboo tools with the bamboos, really? I just happen to have all the right size ones for bamboo. No, see? I'm a dummy. All screwing the wrong ones out. There we go. Don't need the bamboo. So we're going to unscrew this. The good thing is, when it pops off, the filament's not going to be an issue. Simply because we already have the gears coming out of there. Come on, baby. Look at that coming out of the screws. Sure, don't lose your screws. One screw and cable. Notice this should just pop right off. Clips. So I'll get to the extruder clip right here. Come out for me, huh? You don't want to come out for me. Alright. That last one. Yeah, just 3. Alright, so there you go. That's going to be your extruder. So this is your main extruder. What we're going to be replacing out of here is the actual gears inside of the extruder. So first things first, I really should have heated this thing up and get rid of that. But we don't need to. And there we are. So now, you got to be careful with this because this thing will go in tons of pieces on you. So the first thing you got to do is remove the last screws on the back side here. Alright. So these are your screws here that you got to be careful of. Again, this will come all into pieces. So you want to hold on to everything. Make sure the housing doesn't come flying apart. There's 4 on the back. 3 on the front, 4 on the back. Yeah, that's the plus, making all that noise. But yet it's still printing just fine. Alright, so now you're going to wiggle it off slowly. Again, you want to be very careful because everything will go everywhere out there. But I don't want this flying everywhere. Let me pull it open. My hand's close to me. There we go. All this will hold it. Get this in place. And here's what you have left. Yeah, my screws are still in there. And there goes my extruder here. And there it is. There's the old extruder. God, that's ugly. That's been through some war. Let's just put it that way. So again, I'm still holding it this way to keep it in place so I don't lose all my screws. Now, all I have to do is switch out my 2 gears. First one is going to be inside of the block here. So we're going to remove this tension screw just like on the A1. And when we remove that tension screw, it should allow us to remove this gearing on the inside. And again, be careful not to lose everything because it is spring loaded. Nothing goes flying. This also has that back plate on it like the A1 does. So you don't want to lose that either. Alright, so now we've got enough play in there that I should be able to easily remove that out now. Like so. we go. So I removed out the gears. So we now have, yeah, these are not hardened steel. We don't have to worry about that mess up on the A1 and where it was hardened steel. This is not hardened steel. And yes, I've run abrasives through this. You can tell I've run abrasives through this. So yeah, that's why we're switching it over to the new set of hardened steel. Sure enough, as you see, hardened steel. That ain't no stainless steel. That's hardened steel. So now you can really see the difference. Stainless steel versus hardened steel. Yeah. But you can tell a different groove pattern as well. See, this one just has a standard one. This one has an angled one. Oh yeah, this is all. That's binding up and everything. That's all gunky. Like there's some bind on this. There we go. Yeah, it's binding. It's not a smooth. See, it's not a smooth roll on this. This is binding. This one, that's nice and smooth. Alright, so now that I have it out, I'm going to put the new hardened steel gear in. Same thing like on the A1, it's got that little tab there. And you're going to put the little hole into the tab, like so. And now I can drop in my extruder gear. Sometimes you have to wiggle it in, but now it's in. So I now have my gears in place, and I'm just going to tighten down the tensioner. Put the screw in there. Screw's not on the back plate. Why is it not going into the back plate? Come on. Tight. Nah, but you gotta upgrade it, man. You got hardened steel now. Not as worn away. Why is that not sitting right? Hold on, let me see why that's not sitting right inside of the bracket. It's kind of hard to hold these things out at the same time as screwing them in, so it's probably just off alignment. It should go through the hole in the back bracket. Should. Come on, machine, don't lose to me now. That's odd. Alright, so tighten that down. Alright, so tighten that down. And we're going to go ahead, now we got the gears all working fine. We're going to go ahead and put it right back in. But before I do that, I need to make sure I put the cover back on. one. But as long as they're lined up correctly, everything should just wiggle on. There you go. And it's all wiggled in place. And now I can just tighten it down. Hey, that guy that makes, sorry, not paying attention to the chat, hands are a little full. Ah, there we go. Okay. So we got it on. And there it is. It's on. I have new extruder gears in here. These are now hardened steel. And I'm just going to slap it back in place. We're going to, again, these are real easy clip wires. On that one. Didn't have to take off the top one, but just help move things around. There we go. And I'm going to take my 3 screws and put them back in place. So that way, we now have hardened steel extruders on all of the A1s with the exception of the Mini. Loud with that doggone Mini over plus over there behind me. Yeah, I really think I got bad batteries on that one. Alright, so now back the other way, make sure. You know what? I said I was going to do it, didn't I? Yeah. Let's change it. Brand spanking new. That should work. Don't cut yourself. There you go. Put it right in the hole in the bracket right there. And screw everything back in. I like to wiggle it back and forth because there's a hole it's supposed to go into. I'm just going to kind of catch it just right. There it is. So now just tighten that down. Boop, boop, boop. We have hardened steel. So out with the old stainless steel ones, and now we have real hardened steel. Real stainless hardened stainless steel. Alright, where were we? It's not stainless, sorry. Anyway, just hardened steel. Just rambling at this point. Where is my nozzle? Alright, so hot end's good to go. Let me just slide that up along the same wire path that it always is on. And believe it or not, this is the first nozzle change on this printer. This is literally the first P1P I have, and it's done 1,001 hours on that one nozzle. I've had extras for a while, and I always said whenever this started to wear out, I'd go ahead and switch over to the new ones. But this is the first time it wore out, so we're in. Oh, crap. How come I never remember which one goes which? Oh, that's right, they're size-wise. Each one is sized up correctly, so you can't quite mess it up. That one goes there, and this one goes here, which I should have done first. This one goes here, like so. Keep it behind the wire path. This one goes there. Yeah, even when I did the switch on the other one, I switched the nozzle. This one we never did anything with. So now we now have a nozzle. Forgot to lock that back in place. Screw that off a little bit more. Alright, there we go. So now we have hardened steel gears. Still goes through like it's supposed to. And we can throw the cover back on. Put the fan. And the cover. And we have our AV. We have it back again. Yay. We're back to having the old Bamboo Lab. Alright, we can plug some stuff back in here. Got a cool little. And she's good. Yeah, we can plug her back in and hook up the AMS. This one is good to go. Should be. Let's feed it some filament. That's one thing I forgot to do was feed it the filament. I don't have a short roll. I do have a short roll. Everybody got a short roll somewhere. Alright, so we are not using the AMS, so I'm just going to put this on the side. And let's see what I get. No AMS, so I can use this. I love it. I'm going to feed this. Loading filaments. We are heating the nozzle to load some filaments. That's rich, right? Oh no, we got a good bite. We got a good bite. We're fine. We are fine. We are feeding filament, so I think that's good. Yep. I hear you. 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 Alright, so we have loaded filament. Let's try to just print a doggone benchy and see if the filament has worked. Alright, save over my benchy. You gotta be kidding me. This woman saved over my doggone benchy. Babe, you saved over my benchy. It's alive again. Hopefully this thing will ride it out the whole way through. Hold on. We're getting you guys in on this. Trust me. I got a pile of stuff up. We're getting you in on this. This will have to, no matter what I do, this will work. Still gotta get the door on. Got a couple different things to do, so I might still be here for a minute. Whoever joins later, it's just a late night with Dave on this one, because I'm rocking this to get this finished. I refuse to let this beat me. You ever been there? One of those moments where you're like, I refuse to let this beat me. Definitely in the same way, I'm refusing to let this beat me. Anybody still in the chat, or is it just me abandoned by my lonesome? Probably me out here by my lonesome. Looking decent so far. Should have PID tuned the nozzle, calibrated and all that. Oh, I'm way off what I should have done. I'm flustered. Can you tell? It's okay. We're gonna knock this out. We got this done. It's probably gonna fail, but if it doesn't, no, yeah, it's gonna fail. I'm gonna stop that right now because I can already see it's not really on the bed at all. I'll show you. Yeah. No. Nope. So let's do what I should have done in the first place. And there's new firmware on this also available. Oh, we're good. Great, we gotta do the firmware update first. Good look. Calibration. Update the firmware. Ooh, this one's gonna jump even faster than the other. This one's gonna go to a 1.06.0000. Okay, I guess it's a full version. Not on a beta anymore. Whatever this new update is, we get to go live with it, literally. We're downloading the update for the firmware for the P1S. You guys get to get the late night with Dave. And that doesn't mean anything, but it's gonna get dirty in here. Meaning I get to clean up all this mess that I just made. Well, this is calibrating. It's doing a reboot now. There goes the reboot. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. So light goes on and off. It happens. That'll happen. Alright, next we got the silicone. We're gonna rock with that. I got all of these screws. And yes, all of these screws. We're gonna get all of this packed up, get this mess cleaned up, and that way, heck, maybe the housing will be done. Looks like it. Getting close. Getting close. I can hear it. I can hear it. An hour left on that. Hopefully we're not still here in an hour, but we'll see. I'm trying to get this done. I made a promise. We're gonna get it done. Dude, hell or high water. Ain't no editing here. This is all real. The way it is. Just gotta deal with it. That's why people don't do live very often, because this is what happens. You have a band live and you gotta figure out what you gotta do and just rock with it. Just rock with it. And I'm okay with that because the goal of this channel will and always will be to be honest and upfront. I'll be honest. This was not a good stream. It's a very bad stream. A few hiccups in here that I really did not see coming. But that's alright. You live and you learn. Look back at this in like 5-10 years and think this is absolutely hilarious. Or next week be upset at it. One or the other. That's all I got. Firmware successful. Doing the refresh. Now we can calibrate after the firmware. Yes, it does take that long. Every bamboo printer now with a new firmware, I think probably since 5 or 6 of them ago. Yeah, about 5 or 6 of them ago. That's they went to more of a much longer calibration time, but we're good. I'm done touching it. I know everybody's yelling, "Don't touch the printer!" It's okay. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Yeah, we know. We know. So putting things away. One of the big things with having this many 3D printers, you got to make sure you're always cleaning up. Always cleaning up. Don't worry, we will be back with something much better than this. I'm not too concerned. If you don't learn from them, you're just gonna go in the corner and go, oh no, that was horrible, I'll never do this again. Or you just reevaluate, think what went wrong, what went right, and go from there. Gotta keep positive. And my positive mind says this is going to be successful. I have a great feeling that ever since I think probably 2 firmwares ago, maybe 3 firmware updates ago, it's a little weird. It's been printing really, really, really well until that moment where the nozzle snapped. So I don't know what the heck that was. I couldn't tell you. But we'll figure it out. We'll be better at it. Life moves on. I don't know. But it has to auto-calibrate. And then after it auto-calibrates, then it should be all set with the new extruder. With the, again. Oh look, the wife has joined me. What?
Yeah, are you on live right now?
Yeah, there's 3 people on live right now. One is me, one is you, and one is somebody else. Probably the computer. But that's okay. I made a promise to my subscribers that I would finish this project. This one is at least getting done, and then I'm calling it quits.
Well, I'm making experimental food, so.
Okay, so I'm going to go upstairs and have experimental food with you as soon as this... There, look. It's calibrating.
I took a can of chicken.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me because somebody else will hear. The world will hear. And then they'll steal your idea and then we'll be in trouble. I would rather try it, yes, my love.
Oh god. I'm making my own crust. My own pizza crust, babe.
Hey, do
I'm
it.
making pizza. It's a medium pizza. But it's a pizza.
I don't like the fact that there's, I'm like you right now with every time it prints, I don't like it. It's got a little, it's got a stringy on it.
So, go there.
Alright, you know what? It's officially 10 o'clock. I'm calling it.
I need to do laundry.
Is
Bye!
anybody else left out there?
Print like you mean it.
Remember to print like you mean it. We'll have more updates tomorrow after this debacle. Yo, this is horrible. Alright, everybody. I'm out.